Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cabela's, Cuddyback, America's Best Bowstrings, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, and Realtree.
Day 25, November 11th. For this afternoon's hunt, we're going to head back to the same blind that we were in yesterday. There was so much deer activity there that even if we only see half as many deer, we'll still feel pretty good about it. I went in there midday today, about 11:45, and just drove back in on the four-wheeler just to make sure there weren't any deer out there, just to clear the path. It's pretty tough when you go into a spot like that where they bed so close to the food. You're going to bump deer if you're not careful. So I just went in there, cleared it, and then drove back out. Something very common that they run into all the time right around here with four-wheelers. So that's not going to hurt anything. I didn't see any deer. Yesterday we saw a bunch when we went in there at midday, but that doesn't mean anything. We're not hunting 25 deer. We're only hunting one deer, and hopefully he shows back up again over there. He was there last night. He just didn't come up to the corn. And I kicked around the idea of putting a tree stand up along that field edge where he walked through, and that other buck walked through that same route. But it's just, in my experience, maybe I'll kick myself, but in my experience, I just don't see them do the same thing 2 days in a row very often during the rut. He could just as easily come from the complete opposite direction this evening and still make his way into the corn. So that's what we're banking on. We're going to be a little bit, yesterday we left scent when we were coming up that hill into the blind, but today we're going to wear some scent-proof leggings, and hopefully we can eliminate that part of it. That was the only thing that we didn't get away with 100% yesterday. We did leave some ground scent in the spots where some deer were coming into that field. So it should be a fun evening. It's a beautiful spot to sit. We can see a lot of country. It's a fun hunt, and it's really cool when we keep those windows closed in that blind and those deer are all around us at close range and not a single one of them lifts up their nose. It just almost feels like we're cheating. But I do like that feeling because we get beat up so often by these deer that once in a while it's nice to feel like you've got an advantage. So we're going to jump on the four-wheeler and head down there. There's a bunch of them out there now, 3 of them. I guess that's a bunch. Way more. That's actually a doe, I think. And maybe not. It's that long-nosed one. See what it does when it hits our scent. Should be right about there. Nope, not too stressed out about it. She's little. We're about ready to wrap it up here. Kind of a repeat performance of last night. Lots of deer, no mature bucks up here in the food plot, or I guess you could call it that, this corner of the field. We have not seen yet any of those older deer, either of those older deer that came through last night, one being the big 7, the other one being a stranger. tomorrow morning, I think it's supposed to be fairly cool. The wind is going to switch to the north. We haven't got our plan in place just yet, but I'm sure we'll be in a tree or a blind someplace. This spot right here, I think it's the best spot we've got on this part of the farm. So it's quite the honey hole. We'll probably hunt it as often as we can, and until it runs out of corn, because eventually they're going to feed this thing out, and then they're not going to use it anymore. Our son is going to drive out at about, probably in about 15, 20 minutes, right at the end of legal shooting time, and run these deer off so we can get out of here. He did that last night for us too, and it worked out really well. I mean, obviously the deer didn't care. They're all right back here again tonight, so that's a good trick. I mean, most people know that trick, but it's one that we use quite a bit. Well, that's it for tonight. If anything pops out here in the last few minutes, we'll show it to you. Otherwise, check back again tomorrow, and we'll keep the action coming.